You know that corporate job? It feels stable, right? But the truth is, it's always just one reorg, one layoff away from completely disappearing. And even if your job is safe, your growth is often capped by things you just can't control, like a limited number of promotions or maybe a new manager.
And the real issue here, the root of the problem, is that when you have just one source of income, your entire livelihood depends completely on it.
So what happens if you lose that job? Well, your income plummets to zero overnight. And finding a new one, that takes time. The solution here is a side hustle. And I'm talking about serious work that you do on your own terms, outside of your 9 to 5. So if you've got technical skills, say in AI, coding, or project management, there are actually several ways you can build a side income. We're going to explore 5 real-world paths. And stick around, because at the end, I'll share the actual unfiltered data on earnings and the effort involved for each one. All right, first up, freelancing. The strategy here is incredibly simple. You offer the exact same skills you already use in your day job. The beauty of this is that your current job already proves 2 crucial things. 1, you're competent, and 2, there's a real market that's willing to pay for what you do. So how do you actually land that first client? Well, typically it happens in one of 2 ways, either through referrals from your professional network, or you go on platforms like Upwork and bid on projects. The author's first client, for example, came from an academic advisor, which was the confidence boost he needed to go out and land the second one all on his own on Upwork. Okay, path number 2, creating educational content about AI. Now, this one has a really powerful hidden benefit. Even if you never make a single dollar, the process of trying to explain a technical concept in a blog post or a video, well, it's one of the absolute best ways to deepen your own understanding. But how do you actually make money from it, right? Well, you can use paywalls on platforms like Medium. You could run ads on your YouTube videos. You can get paid to write sponsored posts for companies, or you can partner up with brands for affiliate links. And there are other ways too. Some people create a Substack with a paid membership, do sponsored posts on social media, or even sell ghost rating services. But let's say none of that really clicks for you. There's another option. Use your content to sell your own product or service, which leads us perfectly into the other paths, which brings us to path number 3, consulting. Now, on the surface, it looks a lot like freelancing, but there is one key difference that honestly changes everything about how you work and earn. So what's that crucial difference? Well, think of it like this. As a consultant, you're focused on the high-level strategy, things like developing AI roadmaps or managing projects, and you outsource the detailed, hands-on keyboard implementation work to contractors. You're basically selling your strategic brain, not just your time. And this is what that funnel looks like in practice. You create free content that attracts potential clients, who then book an initial discovery call with you. From there, a small percentage of those calls will convert into a paid engagement. And this is where the real power comes in. It's called leverage. By hiring contractors and adding a markup to their rates, your income is no longer tied directly to the hours you personally put in. All right, path number 4 is education. And let's be real, right now, everyone is trying to learn AI. And that has created a massive, massive market for teaching it. Let's look at the 3 main ways this works. First, you have self-paced courses, the kind you'd find on Udemy that might range from $10 to $300. Second, you have live cohort-based courses, which are much more like a traditional classroom and have a much higher ticket price, anywhere from $500 to $5,000. And third, you have live trainings for companies where businesses are your customer, and those prices can range from $5,000 all the way up to $50,000. Now, making the course material takes time, for sure. But the real challenge, it's getting customers. Just look at the difference here. A B2C course might convert about 1% of its newsletter subscribers, but for a B2B training, the conversion rate from your free content to a discovery call, it can be as low as 0.002%. It just goes to show you distribution is often the hardest part of the whole puzzle. Okay, this brings us to path number 5, building a software product, a SaaS. This is the biggest opportunity, for sure, because it has completely uncapped upside. But it's also by far the riskiest because it has such a low probability of success. The hard truth is, most products just fail. But here's why it might still be worth it, especially if you have a full-time job. Let's just say 90% of products fail, which gives you a 10% chance of success on any one product. But if you build 2 products, the probability that just one of them works jumps to 19%. Build 5, and it goes up to 41%.
You see, your day job is your safety net. It pays the bills so you can just keep taking shots on goal until one of them finally hits.
Okay, so time for a serious dose of reality. After building 2 separate products, the author has earned a grand total of, wait for it, $45. This is exactly what the high-risk, high-reward pass can look like in the beginning.
All right, so after all that, let's get down to the brass tacks. How much was actually earned from each path, and what kind of effort did it take? Now, keep in mind this is just one person's experience, right? But it's a super valuable real-world data point. All right, let's break down this chart. The vertical axis is the income you earned, and the horizontal axis is the effort you put in, measured as the estimated hours per dollar. So in the top left, you've got high income for low effort. That's what we call high leverage. Down in the bottom right, it's the opposite. Low income for a ton of effort. That's low leverage. You can see right away how each venture stacks up. So let's put some hard numbers to this. Here's the raw data. B2B education brought in over $41,000 at an estimated rate of $625 per hour. B2C education, over $76,000 at $375 per hour, and consulting was over $10,000 at $200 per hour. This is what higher leverage looks like. But now, let's look at the other side of the coin. Freelancing came in at $75 an hour. Content creation on Medium and YouTube, about $10 an hour each. And then you have the SaaS product, a total of $45 earned, which works out to an estimated hourly rate of just 20 cents. Yeah, the risk and the effort are absolutely real. So what's the bottom line here? It's that a side hustle is really the most effective way to protect yourself from the huge risks that come from having all your eggs in one basket. By diversifying, you gain so much more control and financial resilience. So this whole breakdown should give you a pretty solid framework to think about your own journey. The real question you should be asking yourself isn't just about feeling motivated. It's about taking a clear, honest look at the trade-offs. Given everything we've seen, the risks, the effort, the potential rewards, which one of these paths actually aligns with you?